There were a number of factors that initially attracted us to High on Life. The gorgeous, colourful graphics and the idea of playing with talking guns being amongst them, but the thing that attracted us above all else was how divisive the humour has proven amongst reviewers. We knew that we would either end up loving it or hating it. Proceedings kick off as Earth is invaded by a cartel of aliens who want to harvest humans in order to smoke them like a narcotic, hence the title, High on Life, get it? Your nameless character happens upon a Gatlian, a sentient gun-shaped alien called Kenny in the early throes of this invasion, who saves you and your sister by warping your house to a safer location. Under Kenny's guidance, you quickly fall in with another alien by the name of Jean, who sets you up as a bounty hunter in order to get your revenge and save what's left of humanity. Considering your character remains mute and nameless throughout, the real star of the show is Kenny, voiced by Justin Roiland. Kenny constantly guides you on your journey, whilst producing an infinite amount of ammo inside his body that can be shot at your many enemies out of his arsehole. The several Gatlians you encounter in the game all have distinct firing modes and special abilities, along with very different personalities. Kenny comes across as neurotic but switched on. Sweezy is sweary and aggressive, whereas Gus, voiced by JB Smoove, is almost exactly like that voice actor's hilarious character from Curb Your Enthusiasm. There's also a psychopathic knife called Knifey, who relishes being used to dice and slice your enemies, along with providing a useful grappling ability. Despite being at its core a narrative-based single-player first-person shooter with open-world elements, High on Life feels utterly unique. Aside from the novel gimmick of conversing with your weaponry, the sheer level of imagination put into the alien worlds and their inhabitants is phenomenal. Virtually every character has unique lines, and there are scenarios that it's safe to say can't be found in any other game nor, as far as we're aware, any other medium. The visuals are colourful, and the overall design invokes the aesthetic of classic science fiction such as Buck Rogers and Flash Gordon, blended with the visual style of animated fare such as Futurama. This is complemented by the soundtrack, which feels similarly otherworldly, consisting of ethereal synthesizer strains that induce flashbacks to the 80s. Everything about it is beautifully off-kilter. Despite the avalanche of creativity it contains, High on Life frequently feels like it's held together with pieces of rotting string. The UI is clunky, the engine isn't particularly well optimized, the checkpointing is highly unpredictable, and the game crashes far too frequently. If these technical issues are ever adequately addressed, or you have a high level of tolerance for them, you can add another 5% to the overall score. Although the gameplay loop and fun story are solid and enjoyable in their own right, High on Life will live or die almost exclusively on the back of its humour. Although we found it exceedingly funny and constantly entertaining despite the fact we're yet to be won over by Rick and Morty, comedy is wholly subjective. If, like us, the level of your sense of humour resides somewhere between the gutter and hell, you'll likely find High on Life to be one of the most unique, imaginative, and nakedly pleasurable experiences in modern gaming. So, rounding up the pros, a wonderfully colourful aesthetic, full of highly imaginative ideas and concepts, almost continually hilarious. The enjoyably ethereal soundtrack, the Gatlians are great fun, and the game doesn't outstay its welcome. As for the cons, well, it's extremely glitchy. Unpredictable checkpointing, some will despise the humour, many of the characters sound a little too similar. There's a clunky user interface, and the game on the whole is poorly optimised. Nevertheless, we're giving it 79%, which on our review scale is good.